Morning. I want to talk about Israel and Palestine, and I'm going to put my views on it, and that is it. Okay. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s with Northern Ireland. I have family out there. They live in a city that I am not going to name because of that situation. I would eventually end up on the squatter traveller alternative scene and meeting both sides, both Catholic and Protestant. I met British soldiers practically, every site, every drinking den, every drug den, every squat would have Northern Irish and ex-British soldiers. I have friends who served out there, and it was probably one of the most scariest things they ever did in their life, and they went on to do other stuff. When I was doing my degree in filmmaking, I came to a point where I was saying, right, there are two sorts of films I am no longer going to watch. I've heard it all sides, every side of it in Northern Ireland, and I'm taking a risk by saying what I'm about to say. If certain members of my family found and heard this, they would not be too pleased. So I came to a point in my degree and I said, no more Essex London gangster films and no more Irish films. Because the question was, what do they really do? So I did that. And for many, many, many years I did that. And then about 3-4 years ago, the BBC 4 did a set of programmes called The Troubles about Northern Ireland. And I sat there and I went, I'm going to watch them. And I watched them. And I saw IRA, UDA, UVF, Guard, Police, Army, politicians, all say this very same thing, that Guinness, Adams and the Paisleys were active members. They showed footage of Guinness. Now, Northern Ireland was under martial law. They showed him that, waving a pistol about. Why didn't any of these get their collars felt? Because they kept it going. They kept the bullshit going. Politicians and others have made a shed load of money out of there. We were technically there from 1972 to 1997. How much of your tax do you think was spent in Northern Ireland? Billions and billions of pounds was made. Why didn't Britain get involved in Vietnam? Well, we were dealing with Ireland. And we also know it was bloody stupid. Because by 1965, all your high-ranking members of the Navy, Marines, Army and Air Force saying, we ain't going to win. And lo and behold, they didn't. They knew. But why did they stay in there? Money. This situation in Israel is not about religion. It's not about Muslim and Jew. Nothing to do with that. This is about power and money. Wars are nothing to do with religion. That's the excuse. They're to do with money and power. Why the Catholic Church said it was all perfectly fine to go and do the Crusades was because the Jews were rival money lenders and the Muslims were. That's the truth. It's always about money and power and gain. Okay? That is the truth. I'm staying out of this. I'm staying out of this because I don't recognise any country, any flag or anything. But I'm putting this point over. When I finished watching The Troubles, something came to me. And I said to myself, I've been sold a pony. I've been fitted up. I've been bullshitted again. Because the reality of it is, the core of all of this is that most of the people couldn't give a shit, really. It's a very, very, very small bunch of people controlling a very large bunch of people. As I said, if certain members of my family saw this, or certain people I know saw this, they would not be happy. You couldn't talk like this. I couldn't express this for years and years and years, till the Omar bombing. That's when it went tits up for the IRA, and all of them, really. It sent a message right through, and people started to speak out. That's the truth of the matter, because when it comes down to the core of it, it is the people that are affected. Between 1914 to 1945, about 200 to 300 million people died just in Europe, plus more. And then 3 people, Stalin, Churchill and Roosevelt, decided for all those millions where the Russian, Polish and German borders were. Do you know, I am told we went to war to protect the Poles. How many Polish decided on those borders? None. It's that joke in Blackadder. So Field Marshal Hay can get his drink cabinet closer to Berlin. And that is it. It's about power and control. And this is what's happening. This is what's happening. There are a small bunch of people in Israel and in Palestine, and they are controlling a lot. I couldn't talk like this. My mate went to Israel and he went to the Wailing Wall. And he suddenly heard a clack, 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 clack. And he stepped back. This is the Jewish Holy of Holies. And there was Israeli guards on a gantry firing into Palestine. This is the truth. What it does, it creates an anger and a hate. And that's what's driving this as well. We seriously need to keep an eye on this. But we also need to hear and stay in a safe place. As I said, I don't recognise the Israeli government or the Palestinian government. I recognise the people and that who's being affected for. And I've seen up on Facebook, pray for Israel, pray for the people. Because is God, Jesus, an Israeli? No. He said to be all things to all men and women. Honestly, it is wrong what's happening. And it's tit for tat. And I pray for peace. That's what I pray for. Peace. Peace out.